The One-Year Bible, the Living Bible Paraphrased, June 1st. 2 Samuel chapter 18 verses 1 through chapter 19 verse 10. David now appointed regimental colonels and company commanders over his troops. A third were placed under Joab's brother Abishai, the son of Zeruiah, and a third under Ittai the Gittite. The king planned to lead the army himself, but his men objected strongly. "You mustn't do it," they said, "for if we have to turn and run, and half of us die, it will make no difference to them. They will be looking only for you. You are worth 10,000 of us, and it is better that you stay here in the city and send us help if we need it." "Well, whatever you think best," the king finally replied. So he stood at the gate of the city as all the troops passed by. And the king commanded Joab, Abishai, and Ittai, "For my sake deal gently with young Absalom." And all the troops heard the king give them this charge. So the battle began in the forest of Ephraim, and the Israeli troops were beaten back by David's men. There was a great slaughter, and 20,000 men laid down their lives that day. The battle raged all across the countryside, and more men disappeared in the forest and were killed. During the battle Absalom came upon some of David's men as he fled on his mule. It went beneath the thick boughs of a great oak tree, and his hair caught in the branches. His mule went on, leaving him dangling in the air. One of David's men saw him and told Joab. "What, you saw him there and didn't kill him?" Joab demanded. "I would have rewarded you handsomely and made you a commissioned officer." "For $1,000,000 I wouldn't do it," the man replied. "We all heard the king say to you and Abishai and Ittai, 'For my sake, please don't harm the young Absalom.' And if I had betrayed the king by killing his son, and the king would certainly find out who did it, you yourself would be the first to accuse me." "Enough of this nonsense," Joab said. Then he took 3 daggers and plunged them into the heart of Absalom as he dangled alive from the oak. 10 of Joab's young armor-bearers then surrounded Absalom and finished him off. Then Joab blew the trumpet, and his men returned from chasing the army of Israel. They threw Absalom's body into a deep pit in the forest and piled a great heap of stones over it, and the army of Israel fled to their homes. Absalom had built a monument to himself in the king's valley, for he said, "I have no sons to carry on my name." He called it Absalom's Monument, as it is still known today. Then Zadok's son Ahimaaz said, "Let me run to King David with the good news that the Lord has saved him from his enemy Absalom." "No," Joab told him, "it wouldn't be good news to the king that his son is dead. You can be my messenger some other time." Then Joab said to a man from Cush, "Go, tell the king what you have seen." The man bowed and ran off. But Ahimaaz pleaded with Joab, "Please let me go too." "No, we don't need you now, my boy," Joab replied. "There is no further news to send." "Yes, but let me go anyway," he begged. And Joab finally said, "All right, go ahead." Then Ahimaaz took a shortcut across the plain. And got there ahead of the man from Cush. David was sitting at the gate of the city. When the watchman climbed the stairs to his post at the top of the wall, he saw a lone man running toward them. He shouted the news down to David, and the king replied, "If he is alone, he has news." As the messenger came closer, the watchman saw another man running toward them. He shouted down, "Here comes another one." And the king replied, He will have more news. The first man looks like Ahimaaz, the son of Zadok," the watchman said. "He is a good man and comes with good news," the king replied. Then Ahimaaz cried out to the king, "All is well." He bowed low with his face to the ground and said, "Blessed be the Lord your God, who has destroyed the rebels who dared to stand against you." "What of young Absalom?" the king demanded. "Is he all right?" "When Joab told me to come there was a lot of shouting, but I didn't know what was happening," Ahimaaz answered. "Wait here," the king told him. So Ahimaaz stepped aside. Then the man from Cush arrived and said, "I have good news for my lord the king. Today Jehovah has rescued you from all those who rebelled against you." "What about young Absalom? Is he all right?" the king demanded. And the man replied, "May all of your enemies be as that young man is." Then the king broke into tears and wept and went up to his room over the gate, crying as he went, "Oh, my son Absalom, my son Absalom! If only I could have died for you, O Absalom, my son, my son!" Word soon reached Joab that the king was weeping and mourning for Absalom. As the people heard of the king's deep grief for his son, the joy of that day's wonderful victory was turned into deep sadness. The entire army crept back into the city as though they were ashamed and had been beaten in battle. The king covered his face with his hands and kept on weeping. "Oh, my son Absalom! Oh, Absalom, my son, my son!" Then Joab went into the king's room and said to him, "We saved your life today and the lives of your sons, your daughters, your wives and concubines, and yet you act like this, making us feel ashamed, as though we had done something wrong. You seem to love those who hate you and hate those who love you. Apparently we don't mean anything to you. If Absalom had lived and all of us had died, you would be happy. Now go out there and congratulate the troops, for I swear by Jehovah that if you don't, not a single one of them will remain here during the night. Then you will be worse off than you have ever been in your entire life." So the king went out and sat at the city gates, and as the news spread throughout the city that he was there, everyone went to him. Meanwhile there was much discussion and argument going on all across the nation. "Why aren't we talking about bringing the king back?" was the great topic everywhere. "For he saved us from our enemies, the Philistines, and Absalom, whom we made our king instead, chased him out of the country. But now Absalom is dead. Let's ask David to return and be our king again." The Gospel of John, chapter 20, verses 1 through 31. Early Sunday morning, while it was still dark, Mary Magdalene came to the tomb and found that the stone was rolled aside from the entrance. She ran and found Simon Peter and me, and said, "They have taken the Lord's body out of the tomb, and I don't know where they have put him." We ran to the tomb to see. I outran Peter and got there first, and stooped and looked in and saw the linen cloth lying there, but I didn't go in. Then Simon Peter arrived and went on inside. He also noticed the cloth lying there, while the swath that had covered Jesus's head was rolled up in a bundle and was lying at the side. Then I went in too and saw and believed that he had risen. For until then we hadn't realized that the scriptures said he would come to life again. We went on home, and by that time Mary had returned to the tomb and was standing outside crying. And as she wept, she stooped and looked in, and saw two white-robed angels sitting at the head and foot of the place where the body of Jesus had been lying. "Why are you crying?" the angels asked her. "Because they have taken away the Lord," she replied, "and I don't know where they have put him." She glanced over her shoulder and saw someone standing behind her. It was Jesus, but she didn't recognize him. "Why are you crying?" he asked her. "Whom are you looking for?" He thought he was the gardener. "Sir," she said, "if you have taken him away, tell me where you have put him, and I will go and get him." "Mary," Jesus said. She turned toward him. "Master," she exclaimed. "Don't touch me," he cautioned, "for I haven't yet ascended to the Father. But go find my brothers and tell them that I ascend to my Father and your Father, my God and your God." Mary Magdalene found the disciples and told them, "I have seen the Lord." Then she gave them his message. That evening the disciples were meeting behind locked doors in fear of the Jewish leaders, when suddenly Jesus was standing there among them. After greeting them, he showed them his hands and side, and how wonderful was their joy as they saw their Lord. He spoke to them again and said, "As the Father has sent me, even so I am sending you." Then he breathed on them and told them, "Receive the Holy Spirit. If you forgive anyone's sins, they are forgiven. If you refuse to give them, they are unforgiven." One of the disciples, Thomas, the twin, was not there at the time with the others. When they kept telling him, "We have seen the Lord," he replied, "I won't believe it unless I see the nail wounds in his hands and put my fingers into them and place my hand into his side." 8 days later the disciples were together again, and this time Thomas was with them. The doors were locked, but suddenly, as before, Jesus was standing among them and greeting them. Then he said to Thomas, "Put your finger into my hands, put your hand into my side. Don't be faithless any longer, believe." "My Lord, my God," Thomas said. Then Jesus told him, "You believe because you have seen me, but blessed are those who haven't seen me and believe anyway." Jesus' disciples saw him do many other miracles, besides the ones told about in this book, but these are recorded so that you will believe that he is the Messiah, the Son of God, and that believing in him you will have life. Psalm 119, verses 153 to 176. Look down upon my sorrows and rescue me, for I am obeying your commands. Yes, rescue me and give me back my life again, just as you have promised. The wicked are far from salvation, for they do not care for your laws. Lord, how great is your mercy! Oh, give me back my life again. My enemies are so many, they try to make me disobey, but I have not swerved from your will. I loathed these traitors because they care nothing for your laws. Lord, see how much I really love your demands. Now give me back my life and health because you are so kind. There is utter truth in all your laws, your decrees are eternal. Great men have persecuted me, though they have no reason to, but I stand in awe of only your words. I rejoice in your laws like one who finds a great treasure. How I hate all falsehood, but how I love your laws. I will praise you 7 times a day because of your wonderful laws. Those who love your laws have great peace of heart and mind and do not stumble. I long for your salvation, Lord, and so I have obeyed your laws. I have looked for your commandments and I love them very much. Yes, I have searched for them. You know this because everything I do is known to you. O Lord, listen to my prayers. Give me the common sense you promised. Hear my prayers. Rescue me as you said you would. I praise you for letting me learn your laws. I will sing about their wonder, for each of them is just. Stand ready to help me because I have chosen to follow your will. O Lord, I have longed for your salvation, and your law is my delight. If you will let me live, I will praise you. Let your laws assist me. I have wandered away like a lost sheep. Come and find me, for I have not turned away from your commandments. Proverbs chapter 16, verses 14 and 15. The anger of the king is a messenger of death, and a wise man will appease it. Many favors are showered on those who please the king,